These are some of the best repeated jokes on the first network for kids. Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 running gags on Nickelodeon. Before we begin, we publish new content every day, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. For this list, we'll be looking back at some of the most memorable recurring jokes and catchphrases that pop up every so often in some of our favorite Nick shows. While some jokes are said with pride, others continually haunt some of our favorite characters until the series ends. Just a warning, if you've never heard these jokes, there will be spoilers. Number 10. The Girls' Bathroom. Ned's Declassified School Survival Guide.
I was 5! It was kindergarten!
In kindergarten, a frantic Ned Bigby made the fatal mistake of accidentally running into the girls' bathroom, the ultimate taboo of the schoolyard. Even if it was just an accident, Ned's blunder ended up haunting him all the way to middle school, constantly reminding him of his embarrassing mix-up, usually thanks to bullies and hecklers. What's even worse is that he somehow ends up making the same mistake again, repeatedly running into the girls' room.
How many times did you get stuck in the girls' room? Once. Twice.
However, Ned's first embarrassing incident did carry with it a silver lining. It inspired him to create the guide to helping fellow students survive middle school, and with any luck, save them from sharing his humiliation.
Eyes watering, you could barely see, and you ran into the girls' bathroom.
Number 9. Boobs. Drake and Josh.
Sign here. And here. Not there, you boob. Here.
These two titular stepbrothers might not always see eye to eye, but one thing they can agree on is that their little sister Megan is a pain in the neck.
Don't call me a boob.
Sorry, boob.
For her part, Megan thinks the two are nothing but a pair of boobs. So much so that she'll frequently refer to them as such.
You nervous? What if they think you're a boob? I do.
To be fair, with the way Drake and Josh constantly botch things, it's an appropriate nickname. But she'll throw it at the boys on any given occasion.
Boobs!
Sometimes the two are legitimately boobing it up. Other times she just seemingly wants to put them down for no particular reason. It seems unnecessary, but trust us, the name-calling is not the worst thing Megan does to her brothers.
With their own cooking show.
What's it called? The Iron Boob?
Number 8. Kat's brother, Victorious.
One time, my brother was in a parade, but he was inappropriate, so the parade people called the police, and now he's not allowed to be in parades.
We all know that Kat Valentine is an oddball, but every now and then she has a story to tell about someone even stranger than her own brother.
So, Kat, is there some reason your brother replaced the seatbelt with a rope?
Every tale and every mention of her brother paints him as a totally deranged weirdo, engaging in some rather bizarre and dangerous activity, like driving around with a trunk full of fake feet, or antagonizing a clown on a bus until the latter shot him. The list goes on.
Why?
Because my brother kept poking him and saying, "What you gonna do about it, clown, huh?"
While we never see Kat's brother on screen, an episode of Henry Danger heavily implies that her brother is the villainous Frankini, played by Ariana Grande's real-life brother. It's a stretch, but based on Kat's stories, who says he's not one step away from super villainy?
My brother locked me in the closet, so I'm really bored, and I just want to know what you guys are doing. That's so disrespectful.
Number 7. Luna's song references. The Loud House.
Chores! Huh? What are they good for?
Absolutely nothing!
We all know that Luna Loud lives for the music. So much so that it's become a second language to her in an almost literal sense.
You say goodbye, and I say hello.
Every now and then, Luna speaks in lyrics taken from classic songs, from AC/DC to the Rolling Stones, from the Beatles to Aerosmith. Seriously, name a well-known musical act and there's a chance that Luna has mentioned them.
I know it's only rock and roll, but I like it.
Not only is it a nice treat for music lovers, but the shoutouts are also usually cleverly handled in whatever context they're being applied, even those that get lost in translation.
But now some jerks want to pave paradise and bet up a parking lot?
Of course, every now and then the loudest loud sister will reference a song even she regrets mentioning.
YOLO! Ah! Come on, Luna! What are you thinking?
Number 6. Who loves orange soda? Kenan and Kel.
Who loves orange soda? Kel loves orange soda.
Who loves orange soda? Kel loves orange soda. He does. So much so that whenever the carbonated treasure gets involved, he just has to express his love for it in the form of his iconic catchphrase.
Kel, who loves orange soda? Kel loves orange soda.
Unfortunately, his obsession with the bubbly drink isn't exactly healthy, especially when others try to bribe or take advantage of cravings. But hey, no one can deny that it inspired one of the most iconic Nickelodeon quotes of the 90s.
Say orange. Orange. Say soda. Soda.
There have been others on the show to recite his famous song, but they don't have the same passionate flavor in their words that Kel has, or go to the lengths he will for a bottle.
We want $1 million in unmarked bills. $1 million in marked bills. A car. A car. Orange soda.
Number 5. I'm okay. Hey Arnold.
I'm okay.
Life's pretty tough for Eugene Horowitz, constantly getting injured by bizarre forces left and right. He's ostracized as the 4th grade jinx. It's kinda sad, but almost every time he ends up taking his lumps, which happens a lot, he follows it up simply with, I'm okay, adding humor to it all.
Eugene, there's a stop sign! I'm okay.
It's an age-old comedy trope where something incredibly painful happens to a character, and they just utter those 2 little words and everything's right with the world again. Unlucky as he is, Eugene has made it his catchphrase.
I'm okay!
Even though he's a walking disaster, it's always endearing to see Eugene keep an upbeat attitude, brush himself off, and keep moving forward. Right into his next accident, most likely.
I'm not okay.
Number 4. Setting stuff on fire. iCarly.
I know everything that goes on around here.
We all know that Spencer Shea is an amazing sculptor, but a handyman he is not. Whenever he tries to fix something, the object in question usually winds up catching fire. Heck, sometimes all Spencer has to do is touch something to make it go up in smoke. What really sells the joke is that most of the time, the object in question isn't even flammable, and yet Spencer's miraculous touch sets it ablaze. One time he managed to inexplicably turn a fire extinguisher into a flamethrower.
And calmly squeeze this metal.
Spencer's spontaneous fires leave the fire department feeling burnt out. Pun intended.
Chief Donker, don't talk to me.
Number 3. My cabbages. Avatar: The Last Airbender.
My cabbages!
Life in the Earth Kingdom isn't easy for this poor street merchant. He's just minding his own business, trying to sell his beloved cabbages, when suddenly someone, most likely either the Avatar's party or the Earth Kingdom Guard, comes along and smashes into his vendor stand, destroying his precious vegetables.
My cabbages!
When he isn't getting mixed up with Avatar trouble, his cart will either get demolished or ransacked by oversized beasts. It ends up getting so bad we don't even see him for the rest of the series after book 2. It's safe to say that this wasn't the right line of work for him. However, his luck turns around several years later when he becomes the founder of Cabbage Corp. Though some things never change.
No! Not my Cabbage Corp!
Number 2. Internet? The Fairly OddParents.
Cool! Killer crash shoot, dude! Yes! Wherever did you get it?
Internet.
Almost every episode of The Fairly OddParents has a running gag of its own, but this joke managed to pop up repeatedly during the show's first few seasons. One of the perks of having fairy godparents is being able to wish for almost anything you set your mind to.
Where'd you get all this stuff?
Internet. Inheritance? I inherited the internet.
However, someone is usually around to question where Timmy got his suspicious new goodies or powers. His usual response is to simply say, internet?
Where did you get heat vision?
Internet?
It's not that hard to believe. You can find anything off the internet, and everyone around him, especially his parents, are gullible enough to believe it. no matter how ridiculous the wish is. That being said, he really should be more careful about hiding his new toys.
Young man, where did you get all these nice things?
Internet?
Before we unveil our number 1 pick, here are a few repetitive honorable mentions.
Very expensive.
I hate my life.
Now, how about introducing me to my new henchman?
Certainly.
I don't know. Weasel problem?
Oh, yeah! But that's it.
Number 1. My leg! SpongeBob SquarePants.
Oh, SpongeBob, why?
Whenever pandemonium breaks out in Bikini Bottom, or just an excessive amount of cartoony violence occurs, you're sure to hear the archived recording of My Leg by Fred the Fish. There have been variations of this line. But the context is always the same. Pure, hilarious pain.
My leg! My leg!
While the original recording was used less in the later years, the joke was kept alive via a full episode centered around the line, paying homage to what is essentially the Wilhelm scream of Nickelodeon, and one of their funniest recurring gags to date.
My leg! My leg! My leg!
The joke is so iconic that it even managed to sneak its way into an episode of fellow Nicktoon Cat Dog. Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other great clips from MsMojo and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.